If my eyes look dead in the other videos, it's because I barely remembered my light when I started the last one. Hey, Jasmine here. I'm feeling really good about my reading schedule this year. I decided to read one book a week and have only fallen behind schedule once and got back on track about a week ago. As an indie author, I'm too aware of how difficult it is to advertise a book. Budget-friendly ads are not only difficult to navigate, but seem really impossible to get results from, which is why when I published my book, I knew I wanted to read more self-published work. I've been sticking to a cycle of 2 indie novels a month, along with 2 traditionally published novels, because I have a Book of the Month subscription and a list of popular books I want to read too. I wrapped up my March reads, and I wanted to share what I have planned for April. First is a book I, of course, have wanted to read for a long time, and that is the first Game of Thrones book. I doubt I have to introduce this book. First, I hadn't seen the show and never had any interest in it. I love fantasy, but it was never appealing to me because all I kept hearing about was the more mature scenes. And I can handle it, but I didn't like that no one seemed to bring up anything about story or adventure. I did try to watch the pilot when I was 14, and then they found the dead wolf with her pups, and I shut my laptop, started crying, and never tried to watch again. Between that and the outrage I saw over the final season, I lost all interest in the show, but became really interested in the books. I don't know anything about Game of Thrones except a little about some of the characters because of years of memes and seeing clips. I'm excited to finally dive into this book of dragons, tragedy, and darkness. And I'm all too aware of the fact that even though I only plan on reading one Game of Thrones book a year, I'll probably still be joining everyone waiting for that final book if it ever comes out. Next for April is Double Jeopardy by Bayles, an indie author. The things I know about this book is that it is the first of a 2-book series. I don't know if it's a complete series. The story is a mystery thriller that follows a detective inspector in northern England as he uncovers a conspiracy, a mirror dimension linked to his by a portal. I'm expecting this story is going to be the kind of mystery where you're not sure who can be trusted and what the truth actually is. I love sci-fi, so I'm hoping this book excites me. Next on the list is Keeper of the Night by Kylie Lee Baker. I got this book through my Book of the Month subscription. If you don't know what the Book of the Month Club is, it's basically what it sounds like. You pay a subscription price, and every month they have 5 books to choose from for your box. And if you don't like any of them, you can just skip that month and keep the credit for a future box. I pay annually, and it's been a great budget-friendly way to get books I'm not sure I would have ever looked at, especially since if I see a book I want that's just in their catalog, I can add it to my box for $10 instead of spending $20 online. Some are popular, some are debut novels, but I ended up with a great hardcover book to read. Anyway, I picked out this book for my November box in 2022. It's a young adult supernatural story featuring a half-reaper, half-Shinigami hero who flees from London to Japan when she loses control over Shinigami side. I've wanted to read this story for a long time, and I'm glad I'm finally getting to it. Funny story, actually, when I picked this for my November box, there was a mix-up in shipping, and they accidentally sent me some book called How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days. So if I ever read that one, it's because it was forced on me. Finally, my last book for April is Sundowners, Vampires Are Only Human by Jeffrey B. Yorio. Another indie novel. It follows Zephyrin, a vampire, I'm assuming, whose 400-year-old grandmother goes missing, and now he has to track her down before someone else does. The plot description is pretty straightforward, so I have no other information about it. Once again, this is a book 1 of 2. I've always wanted to write a vampire story, so I'm excited to finally read one. Before this year, the list of genres I was reading was really limited, and now I've read so many stories I never would have picked up before. Not all of them have been my favorites, but I've only had to DNF 1 book so far, and I'm counting that as a big win. What books are you reading this year? I'm always looking for new books to add to my already crushing stack of books to read. I'm just fulfilling my duty as a reader with an endless TBR list. Hopefully Game of Thrones doesn't make me fall behind. I'm a little nervous about the length of it, but we'll see if I make it. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye!